Hello Facebook, I'm Kat Brown, I'm social media at Glamour magazine, and also today feeling like the world's most successful fantastic beast hunter due to the fact I managed to catch a 5 and sit them all in a nice line next to me. This is also simultaneously like the world's sexiest police lineup. Literally nobody here requires an introduction, so I'll make it jolly speedy. We have Eddie Redmayne, Catherine Waterston, Dan Vogler, and Alison Soodle and Ezra Miller, who are all, as you know, part of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is fantastic. So we've got some questions from fans on Facebook and Twitter, but first of all, I wanted to just ask you all, what is it like to be joining something of this scale? I mean, the Harry Potter universe is obviously massive with a huge fan base. Any trepidation there? Feeling pretty good? What do you all think?
No, we're all fine. What trepidation? That's very confident people.
Everybody keeps asking us, like, you know, are you ready for, you know, your life to change, and how do you feel about all the pressure? And all of us just
start sweating, get smaller and smaller.
What do you mean?
We were okay.
Nobody told us about this part.
Yeah, I've just ruined this entire interview. Well done, Mia. This is amazing. Something that people have been talking about quite a lot this week is that the introduction of young Dumbledore, and just off the bat, who would you guys like to see play young Dumbledore?
Well,
I'm
taking J.K. Rowling's stance on this a little bit, that if we say someone and then they don't get it, then the person that does get it's going to feel lousy.
They might just be a surprise casting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it definitely will be a surprise for us, because we
Obviously,
never know anything.
We always know last, so we are just
We
guessing.
genuinely do know last.
Yeah.
I'll probably read an announcement on Twitter and I'll be like, oh,
Got them all
there he
together.
is.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about Jared Harris from The Crown. There have been some nice continuity
Really,
there.
I'm gagging to see The
I
Crown.
want
How
to
is
see
it?
that.
Yeah.
If you're ever allowed a free evening ever, not tonight,
That's
it's
with
the
Gal
premiere.
Churchill. That's what
Yeah.
we were talking about last night.
Yeah,
Lithgow
Lithgow,
Churchill.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ezra, I'm going to start with a question from you, from Brogan Wilson, mostly because your jacket is absolutely stupendous, probably full-on coat. What do you like about Credence's costume?
I'll tell you my favorite part, which is sort of a secret, which is that I had a conversation with Colleen Atwood, who we just have to say is a master and an incredible human being. And when I first got there, we were talking. She was like, "So are you concerned at all?" She's a very funny woman, so she's like, you know, seeing right through me. She's like, "Are you worried at all about playing this character and losing yourself in him?" And I was like, "I guess I haven't thought about it too much, but yeah." And she was like, yeah, well, be careful. And then when I got my costume, I was at a fitting, and when I got my costume, she had sewn into the inside of the back of the jacket this really beautiful symbol, which had like a horse and an eagle. And there was a little message that was from her just saying that she, you know, this is to help you remember yourself.
That's
Through
amazing.
playing this character. So that was my favorite part of my costume, was this little thing that only I
Secret,
knew about.
yeah.
That wasn't Credence's. It was mine, and it was a gift from Colleen, my friend. You know, and
You're not allowed to
Now
make
we
me
know
cry.
she's
I know it was
favorite.
very deep. Yeah,
I
very
didn't
deep.
get a symbol. You didn't get a symbol.
We're getting too deep for the live chat.
That's gorgeous. What a lovely thing to have. I hope you're ever allowed to actually get that coat again, because that would be amazing. Do you find playing real people or iconic fictional characters more difficult?
I remember I was making Birdsong in Budapest, and it was a TV schedule, and it was First World War, but jumping between different periods, and I found it was really tough. And I remember the director, Tom Hooper, was out there making something else at the time, and we had lunch, and he said, I remember complaining to him, going, you know, this one's the hardest. And he turned to me and he was like, yeah, but aren't they always the hardest? And basically any job you're doing, but the weird thing about film is people think that you could do hundreds of different takes, but the reality is you only have that moment in that day to get it right, and then you go home in the car at the end of the day, and inevitably on the way home you're like, that idea, and so you then just have to wait 6 months to see the thing that you failed to do up on the big screen. So I feel like they always feel the hardest, but it's just a question of how much fun you have within it. And so for this one, it was like all the imaginary, I have a really bad imagination, so all like the imaginary CGI things
Not
was
at
quite
all.
complicated,
You're insane.
but it was so much fun, because I got to hang with this bunch of reprobates, which is awesome.
Eddie,
Pretty
your
ideal.
imagination is phenomenal.
You gotta have a good look.
Come on.
No,
You gotta have a good
that-
imagination to be Eddie Redmayne and be so self-deprecating.
Yeah, take that.
You have to dream stuff up to say that's bad about yourself. So.
We've got a lot of that.
Very well done.
I love this question from Michaela Loeffler, who says, I admire all of your patients. You're always very friendly and full of energy. On PR trips, you answer all the questions patiently, even though it's often the same questions again and again and again. Do you ever think, I know, this will come as a shock, do you ever think, for God's sake, I've answered that same question at least 5 times before? P.S. I hope it's not the 5th time that you hear this question.
Wow, that question is amazing. Who asked that?
so
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
Did you pour a water bottle on your head?
Yeah, he did.
Wow, bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did potentially, after 4 hours of answering the same questions over and over again, answer one of my questions while pouring a liter of water on.
That'll
I'm
change
really
it up
hoping
for
it
you.
will be released and go viral. It was done out of absolute necessity, just to like keep myself
Yes.
Alive.
focused, alive, awake.
But there used to be a day, I feel like back in the day, you'd be able to just answer the same question and you'd say to the journalist, oh, good, on a junket, oh, good question, and then respond in exactly the same way. But then YouTube came along, and basically you can now bust me answering exactly the same question in exactly the same way about 5,000
Right,
different times.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you become a living thesaurus, is what you do, and
Right.
and you sort of think of different ways to say fantastic, wonderful, fabulous, great, immense, immersive, completely.
Eddie, your brother Tom introduced you to Harry Potter,
That's
apparently.
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well done, Sarah.
Tom
What was his
Riddle.
reaction? What was his reaction when you got cast in Fantastic Beasts? And that would have been amazing.
He was pretty excited, I've got to say. He was one of the first people I told, and he was pretty pumped. But he then kept asking questions about the script and about filming, and we were sworn to such hardcore secrecy, and we had the fear of like Warner Brothers snipers, like wherever we. So, and he was like, "Mate, I'm your brother. You're allowed to tell me." I was like, "You don't understand
trust
how
you,
complicated
man.
this is." So
He's like, you wouldn't
occasionally,
even be here if it wasn't for me introducing you to Harry Potter.
occasionally he'd get me drunk and then just try and like fish secrets out, which I gave willingly after a couple of
Which
beers.
ranks higher, fear or alcohol?
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Always.
Every time.
And we've got to wrap up very sadly, but just
Oh.
one last one. What is your favourite magical creature and why?
He's saying that like he's stuck, but he knows the answer to this. We have the same answer.
We have
Just
the same
come out with
answer. Picket. The little bow chuckle. He's a little stick insect and he hugs. And he has attachment issues and he just
There he is.
hugs.
I know you don't want to leave it.
I like him because he's got like a little bit of sass. You know,
He's got a
he's
bit
like
of sass.
clingy and sweet and huggy, but if you wrong him,
He's like,
he's gonna stick it to you.
yeah.
Stick figure it to you.
Stick insectic too.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I love the niffler. The niffler is this like, what did you call it? A portapus?
This is Team Niffler over here. That's Team Bow Truckle, Team Niffler. Let's get going. Come
Short-circuiting
on,
in an
internet.
interview, and then I called him a portapus.
Yeah. He definitely has sass
Portapus.
though.
Yeah, he is a portapus.
He
He's
certainly
a
carries
porpoise, platypus.
A portable
But
platypus.
he's
Portable
got
platypus.
a pouch and it's amazing. He puts all the shiny things in it. He's mad. He's mad.
Well, we're going to have to keep that battle going between these two, Team Bowtruckle and Team Niffler, because that's all we've got time for today. But thank you so much for speaking to us, guys, and thank you so much for joining us all on Facebook.
Thank
Have a
you.
fantastic
Bye.
day.
Hope it's not too beastly.
That's wonderful. Thank you all so much. I hope you have
Thank
a lovely
you.
time
Oh,
here.
that's great. Thanks for being here.
That woke us all up. Thank you.
God. I was quite sad that Clarishes was saying we're closed for the Christmas preparations.
Oh.
But I
want to see the baubles now.
Oh yeah, so at least it smells like Christmas.